Modern Storage Unpacked. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Modern Storage Unpacked, the podcast where we make space for what matters. I'm your host, Hannah, and today we're going to be talking all about how storage meets business. We are going to be talking with someone who knows firsthand how vital extra space can be keeping businesses running smoothly. Joining me today is Dane from Regal Construction. Regal is one of the businesses that partners with us at Modern Storage, and today he's going to be sharing how having storage really impacts his day-to-day life, running operations, project flow, and even the bottom line. Dane, thank you for joining me today.
Of course. No, happy to be here. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Yeah.
I've been with Regal for about 7 years. Regal's been in business for about 10 years. We started out as a restoration company, basically, where storms would roll through town. And we would do repairs, replacements, and it's organically grown into something much bigger. We've gone into a commercial space and doing commercial applications and residential applications, and moved to more of a insurance claims specialist kind of strategy where we work with insurance agents locally, and we're doing decks and pergolas and fences and remodels and the list goes on. And so Regal's done well, and happy to be business partners with Modern Storage.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have a lot of moving parts and supplies that are needed for all those jobs too, so I'm glad that we can help. Regal Construction has a lot of moving parts on a daily basis. How does having a storage unit play a role into managing all of that?
The storage unit with Modern Storage is important to us. Just because we've got multiple guys, we've got a lot of material that's moving in and out. It's a constant rotation and flow, and so we utilize the storage unit basically on a daily basis, and just move inventory in and out pretty constantly.
Well, that sounds like a huge help for staying organized. Are there certain items you always keep in the storage unit, or does it change depending on like the season or the projects that you guys are doing?
So it's mainly all going to be the same material. We will keep certain items in there that are sometimes hard to find. Sometimes our distributor won't have certain items, and so we keep those on stock for emergencies. Last few weeks, Arkansas, a lot of wind damage. And with that wind damage, it's not usually going to result in an insurance claim. It's usually a little minor repair. And so staged on the right wall of our storage unit, we've got all of our shingles in all different colors, architectural, 3-tab, class 3 shingles. So we've got those separated out to be able to knock out quick repairs, so we don't have to go buy a whole bundle of shingles and charge the customer extra $100. We can go pull some shingles out of our inventory that we have in stock in the storage unit and save money, time, and make a better experience for our customers.
I like that. So it's helping you and the clients as well, especially with those kind of quick repairs, not whole roof replacements. Do you use the storage space more like a warehouse for your things, or is it more just like a staging area for each job site?
It's going to be we use it more like a warehouse. We have staged materials where we've had to order doors or certain components that we're installing that the job's not quite ready yet, and we don't want to take it out to the customer's property where it could be stolen. We can bring it to the storage unit, where it's not going to have effects from any moisture, any vandalism. We know where that product's going to be, and we can access it quickly, whether it be on a weekend or not, and get it out to the job site when it's ready. But most of it is just going to be a storage warehouse that we're pulling material from to supplement each job.
I like that. So what would you say the biggest benefit of having a dedicated storage space compared to just storing things at, like, let's say your company's office or in your truck, on a daily basis?
So, I mean, you're definitely going to cut down on the clutter. Our work trucks have, just like the storage unit, have a constant flow of material through it. But what we don't want, and what you see a lot of the times, is it will be material left out on a job site after the job's been completed for 2 or 3 weeks. Might be open material that you can't return to the distributor. Well, in that scenario, in my role as project manager, we want to go pick that up. We want to clean up the job site. We want to pick up all the nails surrounding the property, clean up whatever trash and debris we have. But we want to take that material, we want to take it to the storage unit and reutilize it down the road. So if it's an open bundle, if it's an open box of nails, open bundle of shingle, we're going to pick that up pretty quickly. And so people aren't driving by and seeing Regal Construction sign and seeing a bunch of material and trash left out in the yard that we could have easily taken to our storage unit.
Yeah.
One other thing that I wanted to mention is we don't have a big team. We've got 5 guys, but we're spread over Central Arkansas pretty good. We've got one guy in North Little Rock, one guy in Saline County. We're just kind of spread out. And so having that centralized location at Shackelford has really helped out just where everybody can have access.
I like it. That makes a lot of sense. So with all of those 5 crew members, do they all access the same storage unit? How does that work?
So I think we had an option to put a keypad on the unit itself, but we just keep a key with the guys at the front at the Shackelford location. I kind of utilize some of the office amenities, bathroom, you never know what I'm saying. We all go into the office and we'll get a key from the guys up front. We go get whatever material we need, and then usually on the way out, the guys are going out to the yard and they're in the golf cart. I usually toss the key back, or I'll go inside and see them. So the key's always in the office.
Okay.
They keep it in the safe, and we just go in and pick it up.
That's very convenient.
Yeah.
Let's talk about time and money, 2 things every business is always trying to save, I'm sure. Do you think having a storage unit helps you with that?
Most definitely. And we kind of briefly mentioned it before, but the money aspect and how much we save just from not throwing open bundles, open boxes, half-used material in the dumpster. Most other companies, most likely, are just throwing it away. Yeah. They're just throwing it in the dumpster. It's going to the landfill. Taking care of that material, we're loading it up. We're taking it to the storage unit where we know it's not going to have any effects from any weather. It's not sitting outside. It's not getting moisture. And so we can use that stuff and not go buy and have to charge customers for something that we could have easily had saved in storage. For a time aspect, a lot of times the distribution that we use, a lot of times they don't have some of the items that we need, or they're closed because it's after hours, because it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock at sometimes during the summer, and where we pick up material closes at 5.
Yeah.
And we can still be able to go get those things in an emergency situation where a job has to have something.
Yeah.
We can go pick that up from storage and have that done without prolonging the job other day.
I never thought about that. And I did like what you mentioned about, probably extra supplies going in a landfill. Not only you're saving time and money, but also the planet. I like it. So it's more than just a place to stash things. It actually helps your projects moving forward on a day-to-day basis and all that good stuff. I like to hear it. Do you have any kind of system in place for organizing, like what goes where, like labeling, shelving, or inventory tracking? I know you said like on the right side you have like your shingles or whatnot. Is there like a system in place, or is it just kind of like a catch-all for everything?
No, it sounds like a awesome idea. But no, basically we've just lined up the shingles on the right side. We've put them in category as far as architectural shingles, 3-tab shingles, and some color variation, and then it moves in to our ridge. It's a different kind of shingle that covers the ridge roof. And then when you move back, I've got drip edge and ridge vent along the wall. And then you move left, and I have ice and water shield and modified roofing, base and cap. And then if you move back, I've got cap nails. And if you move back, I got coil nails. And if you move back, we've got 2 French doors. So the organization is kind of in here just because if you're in the unit so much and you see it enough, it's kind of
it's your own sort
it's
of
kind of
organized.
imprinted, and we can ask each other. We can utilize are there 4 guys and say, hey, what's in storage? And I usually have a picture of it or something
That's
like
a good
that,
idea,
and it kind of
taking a
gets us along.
Yeah, I like that. Well, let's talk about perks. I know you kind of were diving into the bathroom amenity. I'm sure that's always nice, especially driving around all day. And definitely need bathrooms. Our facilities do have a few things like business centers, business focused extra things like the Starbucks machine, conference room, business center. Have you used any of those amenities?
Yeah, so the business center, that was the name I was trying to think of just a minute ago. But yes, so sometimes we'll leave the house, we'll be checking on projects, we'll be driving, and I don't have time to go to the office and on the computer, print some things off, have a place to sit down and do some work that's comfortable and quiet. The guys at the location that we visit, they're always real helpful. The amenity's great. Bathroom, I was kidding about the bathroom, but it really is nice. You walk in and you're like, wow, this is cool. I'm going to take lunch here. So no, but it's been helpful, and it's not a big deal to stop in there and get what you need and get out pretty quick and have all that accessibility to some different things that we can use.
The printer alone, I'm sure, is nice. Have you guys ever used the conference room for team meetings or anything like that?
No, we haven't. I have just going in there, sit down and doing a few things, but we haven't.
Just kind of closing the door.
Most of our guys are going different directions throughout the day, and so we haven't yet. But that sounds like something we could do.
Yeah, it's a really nice little room. Great place for a little team building meeting. Security, because that is always a big priority for businesses, as it should be, especially whenever you're storing expensive tools or equipment. I'm sure things like, roofing materials, construction stuff. How does having that security with Modern Storage factor into your decision to store with us? Did that impact that at all?
So the security aspect's great. I don't want a bunch of stuff in the back of my truck because it's going to draw attention to your truck, and people, you just don't want that. You don't want it at your house, and you don't want it at the job site. So having it in a locked facility behind a locked door that has somebody that lives on site, that watches the property, is a huge benefit and peace of mind that your stuff's going to be secure and kept safe.
Yep.
And protected.
Got lots of cameras, too.
Lots of cameras.
Eyes everywhere. Construction projects aren't always predictable. How does the flexibility of your storage unit help you adapt to changing project timelines or needs? I know things probably can change on you on a daily or sometimes hourly basis.
So I think we briefly covered this, but a lot of times we're working when our distribution's not open or if they don't have some of the product that we need.
Gotcha.
And so having some of that on standby and ready that we don't have to order or don't have to go pick up in Hot Springs, we've got it right there, centrally located where we can pick it up, access it, and get it out to wherever it needs to go.
I like it. Do you think that this kind of flexibility is something that other industries could benefit from as well? Like if there are other businesses out there that are struggling with storage, what would you say to them?
Well, there's all types of different applications. When I do visit the Shackelford location, there's usually somebody coming in or out that the guys up front that Tyler knows up front, and he says, well, that guy does so-and-so. That guy runs this. That guy manages that. And they've got trucks and they're in and out, and they're running their whole operation out of that unit.
Yeah.
And they've built a relationship with the guys up front, and they know each other, and Modern Storage is able to support what their goals are and what they're trying to achieve, and not just storing your stuff out of a unit, but able to use the facility as an asset to your business.
Okay, yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. I know that you guys did not originally start with a storage unit with Modern Storage. Is that correct? You guys kind of moved over here.
Yeah, that's right.
What made you make the switch, and how have you liked Modern Storage so far compared to the last facility?
My
blood
pressure just went up just thinking about it.
Oh, really?
No, we were across town, and the person who had set up our account, we set it up, and it wasn't set up as a business account, and the person who set up the account was no longer with us, and so we couldn't make any changes to the account, but we could still pay the bill. And then it got to where the communication fell off. We couldn't access the office a whole lot or get a hold of anybody. A lot of times you would go and there would be a note on the door saying, hey, gone to training, not hey, out in the storage yard. Hey, gone to training, be back on this date. And it's like a day or two later, and I'm thinking, well, who's covering the office, whatever. Then the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say, was they were doing some concrete work, and I went in the gate, the one-way gate, went inside the facility, and they had poured concrete by the exit gate with no signs, no nothing. And I didn't drive in the concrete. Like, I saw it was wet concrete, and couldn't get out and couldn't get a hold of anybody because it wasn't within their operating hours. And that's when we started making some phone calls and created a business account the way it was supposed to be set up.
Yeah.
And now we have that line of communication. So another reason we changed, we were looking at one of the Modern Storage locations that didn't yet have parking spots, because we've got a gutter truck with gutter equipment inside, and we've got a big truck that's parked with it, and so we're looking for some parking. And so Shackelford really opened that door because they've got plenty of parking for RVs, campers, boats, whatnot, where we know that vehicle is going to be protected, it's going to be safe. And then I think the location that we were considering using actually has parking now as well. And so that was one of the big factors in moving over.
Okay. All right.
Along with the almost driving through wet concrete.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dane. Lastly, is there any advice you would give to other businesses who are kind of maybe thinking about getting a storage unit to kind of help their day-to-day lines? Any advice you would give them on your experience so far? And
for sure. Yeah, go check it out. Go check out the offices and the amenities, and go look at the units, because that's going to tell you more than anything else you could do. Is just going to talk to somebody, tell them what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish in having a unit supplement your business or assist in helping your business grow or be managed.
any advice you give them on, like, you know, if they were going around doing shopping at different facilities, like what to look for, what not to look out for? I know that you kind of didn't have a great experience at one place, but are now having a great experience. So, like, as they're shopping initially, you know, to not go down a rabbit hole if they don't need to, what would be some things to look out for?
Communication.
Okay.
Cleanliness.
Someone in the office.
Accessibility. Security.
Yeah.
Communication's the biggest, because if you can communicate with somebody, you can solve some of those other issues or whatever's going on, but you need to be able to talk to somebody about it. So that's one thing that's good, is somebody's always available.
Awesome to hear, Dane. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Modern Storage podcast and sharing just a little bit about you and Regal Construction and your experience so far with the Modern Storage. I'm glad that it's helping you stay organized and efficient. And, yeah, just thank you for joining us today.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, to our listeners, if you are... Oh, wait, what'd you do? Did you try a handshake? Okay, I wasn't done. Anyways. To our listeners, if you are running a business and feel like you are outgrowing your current space or just tired of tripping over all your extra inventory, it might be time to consider how a storage unit could work for you. And hey, a Starbucks machine and conference room doesn't hurt either. So see you next time on Modern Storage Unpacked.
That's a wrap for this episode of Modern Storage Unpacked. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and check out modernstorage.com for more ways to stay ahead in the storage industry. See you next time.